Alright, so the company I've chosen to analyze for this assignment is the LCBO. So first we'll start by discussing a little bit about the LCBO. LCBO stands for Liquor Control Board of Ontario, and it is a provincial government enterprise that was founded in 1927 to specialize in the distribution and sale of alcoholic beverages. The LCBO is one of the largest buyers and retailers of alcoholic beverages in the world, conducting business through multiple platforms such as brick-and-mortar stores, agency stores, licensed business like groceries, stores, bars, as well as the online retail market. The LCBO currently sells to approximately 660 LCBO stores, 247 licensed grocery stores, 210 agency stores. They offer more than 26,000 products, including beer, rum, vodka, whiskey, scotch, spirits, and wine. In the 2017 to 2018 annual report, the LCBO reported earning a revenue of $6.24 billion and a net income of $2.21 billion, with their top competitors being the Brown-Forman Corporation, Ice Wine Niagara, Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries Corporation, the Beer Store, the Wine Rack, and basically any other establishment that produces and sells alcoholic beverages. So moving on to their mission statement. The mission statement of the LCBO is to be the best-in-class, customer-first, responsible retailer and wholesaler who supports local communities and delivers value to Ontarians. On the slide, you'll see that there's a second one listed below. It's essentially the same thing, it's just worded differently, and I found it on a different page on their website. Next, their vision statement is to deliver remarkable experiences as the trusted destination for the world's wine, beer, and spirits. Some of their values include providing excellent customer service and ensuring the safety of its customers, remaining actively involved within the local communities, supporting charities, and minimizing the LCBO's environmental footprint, all of which will be demonstrated in examples throughout the presentation. So now moving on to discuss the alcohol industry in Canada. This industry has shown constant growth within 2017, with statistics showing the sales of beer growing by 2.2%, wine growing by 3.8%, and the spirits growing by 4.1%. All are predicted to continue experiencing exponential growth, as beer sales are expected to increase by 13.2% by 2022, with wine and spirits being estimated to grow over 20% in the same time. Trends in the industry include people staying away from cheap liquors and opting to purchase more expensive premium beverages, as well as the increase in healthy lifestyles and health concerns, leading more younger consumers to purchasing less alcohol or starting to purchase more alcohol-free beverages. And the final trend that I was able to find was that the craft beer market has slowly been increasing and taking over the domestic imported market a little bit more. It's also important to note that the legalization of marijuana in Canada does pose a threat to the alcohol industry, since it will provide consumers with an alternative recreational drug. And a study that was conducted by the firm Deloitte found that approximately 80% of current cannabis users mix the drug with alcohol, meaning that most consumers will be making a choice between purchasing alcohol or weed, potentially impacting the sales of the alcohol market. So after giving that detailed introduction on the company and its alcohol industry, I'd like to begin discussing their communication tactics by starting with corporate social responsibility. So to begin, corporate social responsibility, or CSR is how I'll be referring to it, it's a way for companies to show responsibility for the possible impact that their businesses could have both socially and environmentally. When companies display CSR, it helps them build accountability with the public, ensures that their actions are ethical, establishes a good reputation, all while attracting positive attention. CSR is important to a company as it can help retain and gain consumers, since they are likely to support a business that they approve of. But in order for a company's efforts to display CSR to be effective, they need to be very well communicated, as consumers need to be aware of the actions in order to be able to appreciate them. So regarding CSR and the LCBO breaks its CSR efforts into four main categories. The first being responsible retailing and consumption, where the LCBO dedicates themselves to preventing sales to minors, intoxicated adults, pregnant women, and second parties who are believed to be purchasing alcohol for one of the groups listed. In their annual reports, they noted refusing approximately 250,000 sales, which demonstrates how they uphold their commitment to responsibility. It's also worth noting that they have been active partners with Mothers Against Drunk Driving for over 20 years and host their own website called Always Taking Care, both with the goal of providing safety tips and preventing impaired driving, again demonstrating the responsibility of upholding the safety of the communities. Their next category is environmental sustainability. since the LCBO believes that they have the responsibility to minimize their environmental footprint and impact. So some of their successes in this category include having their newly built stores be 25 to 30% more energy efficient, and that their recycling program they have internally has helped divert 93% of alcoholic bottles and cans from landfills. So moving on to the next category, which is product quality and safety. So the LCBO feels that it has a responsibility to the safety of its consumers and the communities to ensure that their products they sell are safe to consume. To uphold this, the LCBO Quality Assurance Department, who conducts over 600,000 laboratory tests and tastes over 6,500 products a year, spend their time looking for any illegal toxins or allergens that possibly might endanger the public. And the LCBO is also sure to use product recalls when necessary, both which show how they're committed to the safety and quality of their products. So their final category for CSR is community involvement and fundraising, as the LCBO believes that they have a responsibility to help their customers and support many worthy causes. Some notable achievements for the LCBO include raising an incredible $13.3 million for various charities in 2016, as well as making multi-million-dollar donations to charities such as the United Way, Ontario's Regional Children's Hospital, and MAD Canada, both within 2017 to 2018 year, which are just a few of the charities that they donate to, but it seems to be their most popular ones. So here on the slide, it's just showing what their webpage looks like for corporate social responsibility. So at the top, you see their 4 different categories, and below is their efforts. So what they're doing to constantly be making sure their CSR efforts are being recognized and how they're posting it and what they're doing active. So now that we've discussed a few examples of how the LCBO demonstrates CSR in its business practices, we now need to discuss how they effectively communicate these efforts. So the LCBO mainly communicates the CSR efforts on their website, as you would have seen on the last slide. Their website has a page for each category and features great details of what they are actively doing as well as their successes. They also utilize social media, where they make posts regarding their efforts and the various outcomes they have seen. And continually, they release their achievements and CSR contributions in their annual business reports. Finally, they utilize press/media releases, which also communicate their CSR successes and achievements to the public, and the press releases can be found on their media page on their website. The LCBO's approach to communicating their CSR efforts is effective for a few reasons. The first is that they use a wide variety of platforms to do so, which allows them to reach a larger amount of people as well as allowing them to reach multiple target markets. For example, someone who might not be using social media actively may be more likely to see a press release or a posting on their website. The next benefit to their communications efforts is that it ensures positive attention is being brought to the company by spreading awareness of their actions. And the final reason is that they use these platforms to communicate the exact messages they want, making sure that people know exactly what they have done and how they have contributed to the cause at hand. So moving on, the next social communication tactic I would like to discuss is social media. And I first want to begin by discussing the importance of social media to businesses. One of the driving forces behind social media is its popularity. Some important statistics include that more than half of all Canadians have a social media account and are on at least one of the major social media platforms. With Ontario being the most connected province, the LCBO has a great opportunity to connect with the customers since its customers are all Ontario-based. Social media can be very beneficial to business as it is a great way to increase brand recognition and awareness. It allows the company to educate consumers on the brand, its products or services, and creates an image of the brand for the customer to remember. Social media also allows company the chance to boost sales by promoting their businesses and engaging with the customers. Social media provides the exposure needed to get potential customers interested in the products and encourages them to make a purchase. Another benefit is the engagement that social media allows to happen between the company and the brand and the individuals. It provides the opportunity to build and maintain a relationship and encourages active participation between the parties. Regarding the LCBO, they use various social media platforms with a focus on 3, which are Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They mainly post drink recipes, food and beverage pairings, Rarely they post CSR postings. They have links to their websites and promotions for various events that they host within their locations. Within their posts, they include a variety of text, images, video, links, as well as hashtags. Well, it's important to note that they don't overly use hashtags, maybe one or two every few posts. The LCBO's social media platforms are very uniform, and they have the exact same postings on each platform. The LCBO's use of social media as a communication tactic is effective because they mainly use it to build a relationship with their customers. They do not push product or try to make hard sells. And while they do feature their products in their postings, they only try to build excitement in hopes that it will inspire customers to make a purchase, and hopefully inspire them subtly. They use their postings as a way to start a conversation with their customers and focus solely on talking and educating rather than selling. The LCBO's social medias are also great because they keep the dialogue very short. Simple, easy to understand, quick to read. All of this means that the consumers are less likely to lose the attention of their viewers, and they're more likely to be easily remembered in their mind. So this next slide here is just an example of how the LCBO uses social media. So the first one you see is an example of a tweet that was originally tweeted by Mad Canada, but then retweeted by the LCBO, and it talks about the work in campaigning and funds raised through the LCBO and the work they've done as a partner together. The next one is just a sample post on their Facebook page. So you see simple picture, simple text, a page link, and then a very simple hashtag as well. And the next is just an overview of their Instagram page. If you actually pay attention, you'll see that there's the same Facebook post is also on their Instagram post, so it shows that uniformity. So overall, the LCBO does do many good things with their communication tactics, and just many things with their business in general. So to begin, the LCBO has been a leader among its competitors, and especially it's the only one of its kind in Ontario, so it sees immense success with over $6 billion in revenue. And after learning about the industry, we've learned that it's continuously growing. People are purchasing more and more alcohol each year. The LCBO has been able to effectively use communication techniques to aid their business and help achieve its goals. Their efforts in corporate social responsibility reflects greatly on the company and works well to improve their brand image among the public. They represent their vision, mission, and values through the work that they do, using CSR to demonstrate their commitment to the customer, the community, and the business. And their use of social media has created a great relationship with its customers, which allows for the engagement and trust to be created between the two, hopefully creating that brand loyalty and customer retention. Moving on to the bad, they had a little bit less bad, but one of the things I noticed was that their social medias featured the exact same postings, which, while it seems nice that it's uniform, I feel that it might make customers bored and is going to encourage them to pay less attention because they've already seen it once. They don't need to see it across all platforms, which also might mean that they won't follow them across all social medias. They may just pick Facebook or Twitter rather than all of them. Secondly, their website was pretty difficult to navigate. There are so many links and many different pages. Many of the pages on their website feature the same topics but have different information, which can lead to confusion, and this also creates a barrier to the viewer who is attempting to explore and educate themselves about the LCBO and the things they do. So that's definitely not a good thing. And the last thing is that they do not constantly promote their CSR on their social medias. As discussed earlier in the presentation, they're constantly doing things and working towards new initiatives to better the world socially, environmentally. They're fundraising. They always have lots going on, and they should be using those platforms more to actively build that positive brand awareness and really let people know what they are doing. And overall, I feel that the LCBO is a very powerful government enterprise who utilizes many forms of communication. So in this presentation, we briefly discussed two of their strategies, the first being corporate social responsibility, and to demonstrate that, they use social media, press releases, their website majorly, and annual business reports. And all of these things help them bring positive attention to the media, allow them to have a large reach to their consumers, and send the exact messages they want to about what their brand is doing. And their next strategy of social media is exemplified through using Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to build the awareness of their brand and their products. They build a relationship with their customers, and most importantly, they've created conversations and allowed for that one-on-one communication and the dialogue to happen, which again builds loyalty and customer retention and excitement about the company.